We spent 2 hours in one attraction and still didn't get to do everything. Universal Studios Hollywood FanFest Year 2, bigger, better, but way more packed. And somehow, One Piece might have been the best thing there. Welcome everyone to another episode of Sigma Duocast. I'm your host, Rick, and today I'm doing a couple things different. First and foremost is, obviously if you're listening, I'm doing the audio, so you're hearing audio, but I'm working on some video content. So if I happen to post what I'm recording, you're going to see me looking all over the place. It's amateur hour, so don't worry about it. But you know what? If I post it, great. If I don't worry about it. Either way. So today I'm going to be talking about Universal Studios Hollywood FanFest 2026 opening night. Day 1, April 23rd, got to go. I'm trying to get this episode out as fast as I can. Last year, I did this episode with the guest Lore, and we kind of went over what we felt, what we thought. If you want to know what we thought of Year 1 FanFest, go check out episode 113 featuring Lore, and again, it's Universal Studio FanFest. And so to kind of give you that prefix is basically this one was, again, Year 2 opening night, April 23rd. We went to opening night. They're doing this for, I think, just a couple of weekends. It's only like 12 or 13 days of Universal Studios Hollywood FanFest. Starts at 7:30, ends at 1:30, with early access at 6 o'clock. I believe that's what we did. So, and this was actually part of my 19th year anniversary with my wife, Salina. So, yeah, that's another story in its own. But it was special. I mean, every year around this time, we always go down to Los Angeles to go and, visit LA. We get some pedicures, as always. There's a good spot right there by the Biltmore Hotel that we go to. Hit up Little Tokyo and then see what else. But for the most part, we always stop at not Little Tokyo, what we do, but Universal Studios. And so last year was the first year that did FanFest, which aligned perfectly. And this year aligned perfectly with that. And so, as I said, you can go back to the previous episode 113, and you'll hear what Lore and I had to talk about when it came to FanFest Year 1. It felt very experimental, very small scale. Like it was the very beginning. There wasn't much like advertisement for it or anything like that. So honestly, it just kind of came out of nowhere, and it was all right. Like, couple attractions like Dungeons and Dragons was pretty awesome. We talked about how Star Trek was not so good. Super Nintendo World had like Meet and Greet Yoshi, and Harry Potter didn't really have nothing going on. They had the anime Jujutsu Kaisen, which was like the big thing for me to go to last year's FanFest, but it was just basically a little anime short that was subtitled, and it was kind of a similar one that they've already done in Japan, and I felt like it was lower scale, like it should have been 4D. Like you can tell it was designed to be in 4D, but we didn't have glasses or anything like that. So I don't know. Now Year 2 comes around and they expanded the IPs, definitely higher production, and for sure way bigger crowds. This was insane. So last year, I mentioned in the previous episode, like on average, the most wait that me and Lode experienced, we went separate times, was like maybe 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes tops. And this time around, there was some waits upwards to 70, 80 minutes. And I mean, Express Pass wasn't necessary last year. This year, possibly. But here's the thing. I didn't do everything. And I'm going to break it down as far as what that looked like. As I'm kind of breaking everything down, I'm going to kind of go over like some best practices, best tips that I can give you. Again, I'm no theme park expert, but I have gone to Universal quite often. And, I try to kind of to figure out what's the best thing. And I do always watch some of my peers, I guess you can say, like on social media or YouTube. They do their own content and they're advertising, their own show or, their own stuff. They actually do theme park coverage. One specifically is going to be, and I'll do a name shout out, is Five Fires. That's a great dude right there. And he always covers a lot of Universal. And so kind of getting as much tidbits as I possibly can from him, as well as others. And then just my own personal experience kind of helped me with this journey, this FanFest year 2, and most likely upcoming Horror Nights this year. So what I like to do is kind of give you guys a breakdown as far as every attraction I went to, because I didn't go to all of them. And then again, kind of like best practices and what to look forward, because as of the release of this, it was just the first weekend. And I believe there's 2, 3, probably 4 more weekends. I could be wrong on that, but if you plan to go and you happen to listen beforehand, hopefully this will help you out. So, again, FanFest and this essentially starts at 7:30. It's usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's only for 3 days, 3 nights a week. And I feel they've shortened the time. I want to say last year it was like 7 to 2. But now it's 7:30 to 1:30, so they killed an hour, and I'll tell you, it's not enough time, specifically because of one particular attraction that kind of eats up all your time, along with just very long lines for just about anything. And so early passes definitely recommended. It's only a $20 purchase on top of the ticket that you decide to get, whether you get Express, whether you get the 2 p.m. park entry, or whether you just do FanFest specifically. There's different prices, different things. If you want to know what those are, go to universalstudios.com, go to FanFest, go to tickets, and everything is laid out right there. I'm not going to cover it on this episode just to kind of keep it quick. But $20 extra for early access. Basically, you get to start 3. Essentially, I think it was only really 2 attractions at 6 o'clock, which was the Dungeons and Dragons and Sailor Moon, I believe. And I'll kind of let you know for $20, is it worth it? I'll let you know in just a few seconds here. But we got there at 12:30. We have the annual passes, so we go pretty much all the time, free parking, the whole 9 yards. We went at 12:30 to kind of just get case the place out a little bit, kind of see what the terrain looks like, if it's similar setup, different setup, know where things are at. We get the wristbands at 3 o'clock. That's when they start giving them out. So we started lining up about 2:30. This year wasn't too chaotic like last year in terms of getting bands. It was quick and easy. And we were good to go, essentially. So we started at the lower lot. So lower lot's usually the best place to start, because you only have like 2 things down there. This year, there was a total of 3, technically 4 if you want to include the restaurant for Dungeons and Dragons. But technically, there was only 3 things this time around. And so we started down there. So I'm going to go into the next segment. I'm going to go into the attractions. I'm going to break them down, how they were, rating. I'll try not to spoil anything. So don't be afraid. Don't be like, oh, I don't want to listen because he's going to spoil the experience. I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to try to keep it as spoiler free as possible. And so give me 1 second here. I'm just going to go ahead and bring up something that I did not have up. So this is the interesting part about me doing video and audio at the same time, is with audio, I'm stalling because we don't do post edits. As you know, with Sigma Duocast, we just press record and we go with it. But with video, I'll probably be doing some post edits. So this whole part might not even be in the in the video portion of it. It's going to be just like a quick little clip, boom, done. All right. So now that I got this going here, the first attraction that we did was Dungeons and Dragons, because you're able to, with the early pass, you can start doing it as soon as 6 o'clock. We kind of hung out in lower lot, waited about 5:30. They started to open up the lines, so we started getting lines, and then pretty much at 6 o'clock, boom, we were good to go. We were the first ones to experience it for the entire day. for the first day. And this experience was Dungeons and Dragons Secrets of Waterdeep. Now, interesting thing about this one is that it is literally the exact same one from last year. So first year, year one FanFest, Dungeons and Dragons was the best experience in my personal opinion. Now, I didn't get to do the Back to the Future lower lot portion of it. I heard that was fantastic, and I don't doubt it one bit. I think it was amazing, especially because I did do this year's backlot experience. But the backlot Back to the Future was fantastic. So honestly, if those who experience it might say that might be the best one, especially if you're a Back to the Future fan. I like the movies. I wouldn't say that I'm like a big fan, but I'm well aware of the films, watched them when I was a kid. So they have a special place in the heart, but I didn't experience it last time. So I did everything for year one except that. But Dungeons and Dragons was such a great experience. I mean, you essentially go in and you kind of are broken up into 4 groups. And then from there, you go to the next room. You're presented with a situation of what the story's kind of about, what you're really doing. And then you go to you meet a couple individuals. You go to the next room, and there starts like this whole dragon thing that's happening. And then you go to the next room, and you get a little more experience. And then you go into the main room, and that's where you have you see the big attraction. Xanathar, I believe, is the name of this creature, the beholder, that's all his riches. So that is amazing. That was just an amazing thing. And after that, you have one more room, and then it's the conclusion of the experience. But what was awesome was from last year to this year was exactly the same, to the point where they even got the exact same actors from the one we experienced last year. Now, I do know that throughout experiences, they would have more than one actor per character. And so just so that way there's a rotation, because they're not going to have just one person acting throughout the whole thing. It could be exhausting. So I was very happy that the same actors from last year that we got to experience for our show were the same ones we experienced this time around, because they're phenomenal. They were fantastic. And they were great. They were very interacting. Oh my God. It was just great. So if you guys go, again, I'm not going to spoil too much, so I'm not going to get into super detail. I'm not going to go into technical lore on certain things, because I want you guys to experience it, hopefully. And so anyways, Dungeons & Dragons was still the best thing. I do hope they bring it again, but I hope the next time they bring it, if they do for the next year, is just give us a new story. Let's try something different. Keep the same theme. I think the theme's great. I think the merch that they released for it was great. The theme, they had the tavern for food. I didn't get to go up there because they had a lot of similar foods from last year, so I was like, I'm all right. But keep it going. Just let's do a new story, new experience. I think they can definitely do that. But Dungeons & Dragons was fantastic. So if you guys go, check that one out. Next thing we did was the Jurassic Park experience. So they had this mini walkthrough in the new little mini expansion area behind the Mummy. They kind of excavated the ground. They put a whole wall thing and everything. This is just a new foundation in general for the park. So they utilized this space by putting a Jurassic Park experience. And what it was essentially they had a few props, movie props, replicas and all that scattered within, and it was spanning the saga of Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, all the films. They had a couple actors in character as well. When I was there, they had John Hammond right at the beginning, spend no expense, Dr. Wu, and then they had Ian Malcolm, which, by the way, this guy did a phenomenal Ian Malcolm. The voice, the mannerisms, everything was just chef's kiss. It was fantastic. I actually saw too. I didn't see him when I was there, but Nerdy, the guy who kind of betrayed Hammond because he didn't get paid, the security tech that got the little Barbasol can and took all the specimens and gets killed by spoiler alert in Jurassic Park. If you haven't seen it, it's been, God, I don't know, 25, 30 years now, maybe. Yikes. he gets killed by the God. I want to say Dilophosaurus, but I know that is completely wrong because I'm picturing what a Dilophosaurus is, and I know it's not that. Let me see. I want to see what I want to know what dinosaur that was. You know me. If I don't know it, I'm gonna get upset. How would you ask this question? I don't even know how to look it up. Oh, snap. I was right. It is a Dilophosaurus. Hey, kudos to me. I'm actually very proud about that. I went with my gut guess and I was correct, but for some reason my gut was telling me I was wrong, but I was right. So anyways, it was cool. I didn't get to actually stay and actually watch. They had a little show thing at the very end, but we didn't stay to watch it because it was early access. So I wanted to kind of hurry up and see what else was out there. And I had intention to come back because I wanted to see everything at night because it was still daylight. Nighttime would be the best time to see it because the lights, the ambience, everything's just fantastic. But I never came back to it. Overall, it was cool. It was different. It was new. I love the Jurassic Park movies. I thought it was great seeing some of the stuff, but I don't know. Wasn't really all right. The next thing we did after that, we were going to go to Sailor Moon, but because that was the only early thing that was open, there was like a kind of a long line, and you got to wait like intro. They only have one screen, so however long the show is, you got to wait, and then they fill it up. And honestly, we didn't want to wait because there was already a crowd starting by the tram, where you go down to load up on the tram, and you wanted to get on there, so you can go to the back lot to go to Little Europe, so you can go and see the Universal Monsters Cross Scooby-Doo attraction, which was like one of the big ones. And so we went, got in that line, waited till 7:30, but again, little by little, they let us go early to go fill up the actual line space and then eventually get on the tram and get all that prepared. So that's what we did next. We went to that. Now, this one, I'll give a little more extra info just so you guys have an idea. What exactly is this? So I'm going to reach over here and grab my little book because they gave us little notebooks. Because it's very interactive. It's very immersive. This was probably the coolest thing. Again, I don't know how the Back to the Future one, but this one was really cool. So you go in the tram, and the whole premise is you're in there, and in the tram there's a video playing, and they're setting you up to where you're going on set. You're being cast as extras. Excuse me, and you're going on set. You get presented 4 characters, which is Max Flash, June Steele, and Carla Spin, and Artie Pressman. And each one is a specific thing, like an art director, a publicist, a security guard, and a producer. So they kind of give you a little bit of like story and what's going on. And then next you know it, the screen gets all crazy, and there's the Phantom Director. It's, one of the classic, there's a real life person with a mask on. And so what happens is this Phantom Director is trying to sabotage the new fictional movie Monster that is being filmed. They want to halt production. And so he summons the Universal monsters to come alive and terrorize the set so they can shut it down. And here comes Scooby and the gang and yourself to go and help him out. So as soon as you get down there, again, it's Little Europe, which was awesome because this backlot location is where they actually did film a couple of the Frankenstein, Dracula, Universal Monster movies back in the day. So you literally get to walk and be in this historical set of Universal with all their classic monsters once upon a time were filmed. And it's all themed Scooby-Doo and everything. You have the music playing, you have everything. What ends up happening is you get down there, they give you a Mystery Inc. manual. So what this manual has is it explains the whole scenario. It gives you the 4 suspects, which were the ones that I just told you. And then you get clues from Velma, Daphne, Fred, and Shaggy, and what to look for. And they give you a little map. And so it tells you on the map, it's a outline of where to go to check for this clue, where you can find each character, because Fred, Velma, Shaggy, and Daphne, they're all in their own little spot, and they're full on in character. You know, you can talk to them, you can ask them about the clues, this and that. You can take a quick photo if you like, but it's not necessarily intended to be like a, hey, let's go take a photo. The only place you get that is at the very beginning. You see the Mystery Machine and Scooby, and you have a nice little backdrop. And that one, there's a cue line, and it's just a photo op moment. But the other characters, they're just roaming. Their intention is to help you solve this. And throughout, you'll hear the Phantom Director over the PA and the sounds kind of just say, hey, you know, they're stightening, and it's like, I am summoning you. And then here comes, you know, some villain like Dracula will get summoned, and then he starts to roam around. Frankenstein, he's roaming around. Wolfman, the Bride. I don't know if the Swamp Thing goes, because I thought I didn't see it, but they advertise it. And then I don't know if this was a guy in cosplay, but I'm pretty sure I saw the Invisible Man. But I don't know if that was a cosplay or if that was just like the actual Universal like character in play. But anyways, they're just roaming and they're not really doing anything. They're just like, oh, okay, cool. They'll interact with people and stuff. But anyways, the whole thing is just you go in there, you solve the things, they give you a pen, the book, and you kind of write your notes, and you kind of figure out who do you think is the suspect out of the four, who's the actual Phantom Director. Once you're all done and ready to go, you get into a line, and then you get to watch the big reveal. There's like a little 5-minute, 6-minute show where you see the live actors all do their thing, have a conversation. Then up top, there's like these animated screen things that's really well like integrated into the walls of this section of Little Europe. And it's all animated. They're all going back and forth, jumping through the doors like you see in the Scooby-Doo cartoons. They enter this door, come out of this door, etc. And then eventually it leads to where like the animation comes to real life, right? Like, oh, let's go through the trap door, and then you're basically down here. And so they do that, and then they pull the curtain, and then, hey, let's do the big reveal. Take off the mask. Boom, this is the person. And then after that, you get on the tram. So I gave you a more in-depth kind of explanation of this particular attraction, because this one was really cool. I'm a big Scooby-Doo fan, so it was really cool to get to play in that playground. Now I'm going to kind of give you like the inside details of it. We were here for like 2 hours, this land, and we didn't even get to fully do everything, get fully immersed, because immediately we were the first tram, the first people to go, because that's how much we waited and how front end the line we were. So we were the first people to get to go there and everything. Here's the thing. If you want to take a picture with Scooby-Doo, okay, do that. But be prepared, because there's a line. It's going to take time. And we did that, and we just said, hey, we're going to go take a photo. Like, I don't know. We just did it. But it took a while. After that, you go, and you'll spend probably like a good couple minutes, depending if you can't figure out the clues. Like, there's 4 clue stations. You'll spend a good amount of time at those stations to figure out what's what. If you want to walk around and just take everything in, just feel the vibe, take the ambience, get to like just enjoy what you're doing, that's going to take time. Down there, they also have the 2 food stations that are only available in this area, where you have a little cart where you can get the little Scooby snacks, or they have like a little booth where you can get the 20-inch hot dog that's filled with all kinds of craziness. It is insanity. And then they have a super shaggy sandwich, which is like a triple decker of a sandwich, kind of like you see in the cartoons, but literally crafted perfectly to look exactly like it looks in the cartoons. But 2, it's edible. Those lines are insanity in itself. So if you plan to get food down there, which you could only get in this area, there's nowhere else in the park where you can get these food items. There's another long line there. We waited in that line to get the shaggy sandwich. I should have bought the Scooby snacks, but I just got the shaggy sandwich. And then, once you're all done with everything, like you're fully ready to leave, you got to do the final reveal, because after you do the final reveal, you cannot go back. You have to immediately leave on the tram and get out of there, which we did not know. A lot of people did not know, and they were pissed. There's people around us that were very upset. But anyways, there's a line just to get into the big reveal, because again, it's a little like 5-minute, 6-minute presentation. You can only fit so much people in this little area, so they got to rotate it out. So what I'm saying is, if you want to go down, if you do go and you go to the Scooby-Doo backlot experience, be prepared to spend anywhere from an hour and a half to 2, maybe even 3 hours, depending on what it is you're doing and waiting for, to be down there. So, and there's no restrooms down there, FYI. So that's my big, like, if there's anything I can give you with the FanFest, is to properly know what this experience is, what you do, and how it's like done, what to expect essentially, so you can plan it. Because we just went because we just, hey, Scooby-Doo, let's go knock this out. I already knew, thanks to some of the YouTube guys, I already knew that this experience was projected to be like a 2-hour type of thing, depending. But I tell you, because we knew that, we kind of planned it a little bit, but still, we would have been there longer, because honestly, we didn't even do the fourth clue, and we just kind of guessed the big reveal. We just kind of said, all right, I think it's this person. Then we went to the big reveal, like, oh, cool, look at that, we were right. I mean, it's kind of, once you get the first 3 clues, you can kind of figure it out, but each one is critical. But anyways, yeah, no, so that one is the big one. Like, that's the one where definitely know what you're going into. Make sure it is something you really want to do. Make sure you go to the bathroom before you get on the trams. They did say that numerous times, that, hey, if you want to use the restroom, use now, because there's none down there. So, literally. So be smart about that. And then just be prepared to, if you want to speed run it. Go through it, grab your book, go straight, get all your clues, big reveal, go. If you plan to get some of the food, be prepared for a line. If you want to do the whole immersive experience, just be prepared to spend most of your time there. Again, it's only open if you do, well, that one opened, but didn't get the early access. So 7:30 to 1:30, that's what it's open. And the last tram was out, I want to say like 11:45 is when the last tram went out. So after that, you can't go down there. You can be down there if you're already down there, but you can't go back down there. So, yeah. Overall, though, that Scooby-Doo experience was awesome. One of the best experience. As a big Scooby-Doo fan, being able, I love Hollywood. I love movies. You guys know this, I'm a cinephile if you guys listen. And so being on a set, getting a special appearance from my cat right here. Being on a set was really amazing, especially in the back lot. Like, eventually I want to do one of the VIP tours so I can actually get to walk around more, because I just love it. Like, when I did the Warner Brothers studio tour, we got to walk in some of the certain sets and back lots. It's just an amazing thing, because then you're like, oh man, this is where they filmed that one scene in that one movie, and this is like, it's just a cool thing. Sorry, that's just my nerd right there. Like, I love that. But yeah, this one was the best, one of the best experiences. Definitely plan around it though, and be prepared. It's massive time investment. So Scooby-Doo was fantastic. The next thing, let's go into, all right. I'm gonna be transparent so that people don't, let's say that I'm a whatever. I don't really know what, I don't know what that was. One Piece. I am a noob to One Piece. I'm fresh. I'm new. I am well aware of what One Piece is, the anime and the manga. I have my own mangas behind me here. I don't know if it can see on screen. Obviously, you're those listening, you can't see it, but I have my Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia, Spy Family, Dan Da Dan, Chainsaw Man, Kaiju Number 8, Demon Slayer, you name it. So I know, I'm aware of the anime. I'm aware of mangas and stuff. There's a couple big ones that I've haven't got into. One Piece being one of them. I've always heard great things about One Piece, but I just never got into it. It started in 97. It's like the longest running manga and anime. So many episodes, so many manga books. I mean, it's insanity. It's just, I always felt it was such a big investment. I don't know where to start. I don't want to just jump in. Even when they released the Netflix show, I was like, I don't care. Like, I don't want to get invested. I just don't. I'm sorry. Well, I got invested. So knowing that One Piece was going to be here and it's going to be a heavy thing, I was like, all right, it's going to, my kids were into it. My wife was actually into it. So I was like, let me see what it's about. And again, I didn't know where to start. So for those One Piece fans that are watching or listening this, don't hate me for this, but I started with the Netflix show. I got to say, man, that Netflix show is fantastic. I'm on season 2 right now, episode 3 or 4. I don't know. I just watched the cliffhanger right now, the episode with the dinosaurs. Everyone's like kind of screwed or something. But if you know anything about me, those that listen and those that personally know me, when I get invested into something, I go all in, baby. I go all in. So I am now planning to, one, read the mangas, get the mangas. I know it's going to be a lot. And I'm going to start watching the anime. I got Crunchyroll. It's on there. I just bought my first Lego set or my wife got it for me for our anniversary. Lego set. Thank you, by the way. Of the Merry ship and all that. So I'm learning. I'm getting educated. And actually, I'm very glad I did before I went to Universal Studios. So I watched the entire first season of One Piece before I went to FanFest. I did my usual Wikipedia. I got to learn who's who. I know I didn't jump too much, so I didn't give myself too many spoilers, but there's just so much. Come on, like I said, since 97. Come on, guys. So I kind of did the little wiki and all the other variations of wiki stuff that they do where it's just information. So I did my research on who's who, what's what, blah, blah, blah. Just enough. I'm pacing myself with the Netflix show. So kind of following up like, all right, how does the anime and the manga match up to what season 1 was? Because I understand season 1, it's like Harry Potter. You watch the movies and there's a lot of the book not in there, which now we'll see if the TV shows will be doing that, or the TV show will be doing that on HBO. So I did my thing. Anyways, I had to get all that out there because the One Piece for this year's FanFest, top tier. I'm almost at the point where Universal just needs to make Anime Fest, because if they can do what they did with One Piece this year with other IPs for the years to come, holy smokes, it's going to be phenomenal. So One Piece was at FanFest year 1. They just took over like the little like I don't know what it's properly called at Universal. I got to educate myself on this, and I know it. I just can't think of it right now. But like, you know how at Disneyland, if you've been there, there's Main Street, and when you say Main Street to someone, they know what that means. It's the entrance, it's all the buildings. So Hollywood Universal Studios has that same thing. It's like your entrance, and it's kind of like essentially like Hollywood, and then it becomes you have like the tower, and then it breaks off, and you have like little, I don't know if it's Little Italy or no, it's like New York or something, and whatever. That little part there, last year, it was themed out One Piece. No attractions or anything. They had merch. They had a few food items, but then the big thing was that they had the actors in character doing photo op meetups. That was like the most they did. Other than that, there was nothing else. There wasn't like an actual attraction or anything. So this year, I think they said, let's go all out with probably the feedback they got from last year, and people wanted more. And obviously the Netflix capitalized on the popularity of that right now, because One Piece is highly popular right now, especially with season 2 just dropping. They went all out. So what they did this time around is they took over a restaurant. Literally across from the restaurant, they took over a little spot to make a bar. And then behind that bar, down the little alley path where it leads to Waterworld, they took over that whole section and Waterworld and created a new show, live action show that takes place in the area of Waterworld. Live stunt show, if you will. And on top of that, in that area to the side, they had the rotating character meet and greets again, which unfortunately I didn't get to do. I really wanted to do it. But I'm telling you guys right now, this year around, the freaking lines. Whew. There was a massive line for the restaurant, because that restaurant was the only one. For one, it was only open during FanFest, not throughout the day. And it had all the One Piece foods. And then the bar, again, One Piece theme, only open during FanFest. And it had a couple drinks and a couple novelty things to get there. and then obviously the show. They only do 3 shows per night, which I believe was 8:30, 10:30, and midnight. And so we had a prior after we did Scooby, because we were there forever. Once we were coming out of there, it was like close to 9. I said, hey, we got to prioritize to One Piece now. We got to focus, because that was a big thing that we really wanted to emphasize. We really wanted to hit. And the next showing was 8:30. So we're like, all right, we got to hit that show. Obviously, people are going to be lining up 30 minutes prior, if not more. So we got to be there earlier. I go, let's hit up the restaurants real quick. So as soon as we get to the restaurant, freaking line, doing a whole little snake. That's a bust. We look at the bar line. That one was fairly long, but we really wanted to get the, they had 2 of these like plastic mugs themed out Chopper and Luffy. And then they had like this little water cup thing, but it was like a bottle, and it was plastic, but it was like a bottle, and it looked like it had like net around it, but it was, plastic. And there's a little cork where you can fill it up, and it has Luffy on there or whatnot. So we had to get all those things. So fortunately we were able to grab that. And then after we grabbed it, I went to put it in the locker, and then we waited in line for the show. And let me tell you guys, the show was amazing. It was so well choreographed. It blew me away, actually, like legitimately. Did not know what to expect. The Waterworld show already was fantastic, but this show was really good. They gave you a setting of the island of Midori. You had the Marines versus the Straw Hat crew, and you had everybody there. It did sound like everything was dubbed. I'm not sure if they were dubbed like they weren't the Netflix people. I don't know if it was the anime, because I haven't obviously spent a lot of time watching the anime just yet, but I know for a fact the voices were dubbed because they sounded fantastic, and especially while they're doing their stunts. But this was just such a great show. Like, I extremely recommend it. If you go to FanFest this year, make sure you watch that One Piece show. That and Scooby-Doo, and of course Dungeons & Dragons were like phenomenal. Like, you got to do those. And one more thing, but honestly, almost everything you got to do. But yeah, One Piece. This was FanFest experience, theme, production, you name it. This is what it should be. That episode that I did prior, episode 113 with Lore, it was we talked about the lack of production, the lack of like investment, the lack of just immersion in some of the things. The way they did this, it almost felt like a little mini One Piece land. Like, that's how crazy and well themed out it was, because the moment you turn right there, it's the restaurant, it's the bar, then it leads to the water world, and you have just everything going on. It was literally a mini One Piece land. If you ever wondered what a theme park would look like, imagine Disney, but instead of like Tomorrowland and Frontier, Adventure, Star Wars, Fantasy, all that, like those lands were like specific anime IPs. This is what we got. This is what it was. Amazing. Sorry, I got like an itch on my nose. Jesus. Overall, I loved this area. Again, it was fantastic. I can't stress it enough. And then the final experience that we did, because we were running out of time, and this one had the longest line for almost everything on average, because you can check on the app. Probably about 30 minutes was like the average. Dungeons at one point, Spider-Man, Scooby-Doo. Obviously, the One Piece shows had set times. And then you had the Harry Potter Forbidden Forest search for like the hippogriff. Let me get you the exact title here. Let me bring it up, because it's very long. Like, officially, what it's called is kind of crazy. It is officially called, you ready for this? The Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Forbidden Forest, Search for the Hippogriff. Yeah. Look, dude. Just search for the Hippogriff. But I get it. You gotta let people know it's Harry Potter, and you gotta let people know you're going through the Forbidden Forest. if you watch the movies, read the books, you know what's in the Forbidden Forest. So this was a cool experience. I actually bought a wand for this because they made it sound like if you have a wand, it's better because you could interact more. So me being suckered, I was like, yeah, I'll get it. Plus I had to get it because, truth be told, I'm just spitting the facts as to why I do what I do. As you guys know, I like K-pop. I like the band twice, or the group Twice. There's a subgroup to Twice that's called Misamo that has Sana, Momo, and my favorite bias, Mina. And they released their album when they did a video. And in one of the videos, Mina is acting like she's a wizard and she's waving a wand. And me being a nerd, I'm like, is that just like a random piece of stick? Is that just like a random wand or what is that? And when you pause the screen, right, and you like when she's waving it because you see a clear picture of it, you really look at it, it's actually, she's using Hermione's wand. It's just colored like metallic silver, like they spray painted metallic silver. So I had to get Hermione's wand because I didn't have it. I have 3 wands. 2 are the interactive ones, which is I have Cedric's one, and then I have Jesus Christ. Why can't I think of it? The Dumbledore's one. The Deathly Halt. No, not is it Deathly Halt? I don't know. Whatever. Dumbledore's one. That, you know, the badass one, the ultimate one. And then those ones are the interactive. They're from Universal. And then I have a Newt Scamander one that it's just a prop novelty. So Hermione's my 3rd Universal one, and I had to get it. And if you're wondering if I'm going to spray paint it silver because Mina's was silver, yeah, most likely I'm going to do that. I don't care. My wife's rolling her eyes probably. I don't care. I'm going to do it. It's mine. I bought it. Why not? Anyways, so they had this experience and we had to do it. It was getting close to midnight, or they're going to close. And again, everything had like a 30-minute wait. This freaking thing had like a 70-minute wait. I think the highest I've saw the wait was either 80 or 90 minutes was the longest wait, which is ridiculous, by the way. Like ridiculous. But anyways, I had to do it because I like Harry Potter. And the idea of this was just cool. What they did is there's this long queue extension on next to the ride, Harry Potter Forbidden Journey. They added lockers because there was this whole extension piece, like queue line, that was just wasted space, honestly. Because at this point, Forbidden Journey doesn't get that long in lines anymore. So they've been repurposing that area. They've moved lockers out there. So it's like right at the entrance now versus being inside. So that was kind of cool. But the rest of it was nothing. So, hey, we had this space and let's utilize it. Because last year, all they had was like people walking around with puppeteers and stuff. And it wasn't really anything like, you couldn't really sit there and say like, oh yeah, FanFest Harry Potter. Like it wasn't cool. But this year around, they said, all right, we're going to up the ante. You have a great IP. Let's do it. So the whole premise of this one is that, and I highly recommend doing it at night. I mean, granted, it got dark pretty quick, but do it at night. We waited. It was a 70-minute wait, but from the moment we got in line to the moment we walked out of the attraction, it was 60 minutes. So we had to wait in line maybe for like 40 minutes or something. It just went by fast. But the whole premise is you go to the spot, you'll meet an instructor, a professor, I should say, not instructor. And the professor will be like, hey, the hippogriff got out. We got to go find it. It's somewhere in the Forbidden Forest. And so if you know the books, you know that the Forbidden Forest has a lot of different creatures and it's really spooky to travel through night because you can run into interesting creatures, spiders, centaurs, you name it. So you go through this, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but you go through it and there's certain areas where you stop and the professor would be like, hey, I need your guys' help with the magic. You know, if you have a wand, wave it. Again, I thought like, because if you have one of these interactive wands and you're going throughout the land, you can do certain things and things will move. So I thought they integrated that into it. Not really. It's just an immersive thing. But hey, you know what? I got a wand. I did it, and I had a lot of fun. So I don't care what anybody says. And so, I mean, hey, if you want to be a Jedi of Star Wars, you can use your hands. You know, and there you go. You can be like Expectro Patronum. I honestly just wanted to just, you know, I was saying it the entire night that night, and I can't think of it right now. The freaking death spell. I'm straight up drawing a blank. Wow. Anyway. Yeah, I'm looking it up because I'm pissed. I don't like not knowing. Oh my God. Anyways. Avada Kedavra. I kept yelling that. Well, not really yelling it to everyone. I was just whispering to my wife. I said, I'm just going to, here's this. What's it? Avada Kedavra. And so, yeah. But anyways. So you do that. You're like, oh, let's yell this spell together, and you wave your wand, and then like magic happens. And so you go through it. There's a couple sections where you stop, he talks, blah, blah, blah. Again, interactive. It's fantastic. And then you get to the finale, and the very end, you see one of the best things you can possibly see. I really don't want to spoil it. I really want to say what it is. I want to explain it because it was just pure magic. Not to sound, what do you call it? Not to sound corny in any way. It was just magical, man. It was amazing. So I don't know. I don't want to spoil it, but it was just even my wife was like, whoa, this whole thing that we just saw at the end was just, it was great. It was great. I'm very glad I got to experience and see that. So yeah. So Harry Potter was fantastic. Honestly, Harry Potter, Scooby-Doo, One Piece, and of course, that was all great. Now, I didn't get to do everything. There are two things that I missed. I didn't do Super Nintendo World because, one, I did it last year and it was very similar to last year. You get a little hat, Yoshi theme. You find eggs, you put stickers, you get a medallion. And I don't know what the big payoff was this time around. Last year it was you get a photo with either a blue or purple Yoshi and a little photo op meetup. But this year it was supposed to be, all of them were supposed to be out. So the green, blue, purple, pink, yellow, all of them were out. But again, I didn't go there. I didn't go back to, after I left Lorelot, I never went back to Lorelot because time between Scooby-Doo and One Piece and then obviously Harry Potter, time flew. And then I never got a chance to go back to do the Sailor Moon. I'm not a big fan of Sailor Moon. Like, I don't really know too much about Sailor Moon. I know what it is, but I don't really know too much. So, I wasn't like, oh, I have to go watch this. But it was an animated show, subtitled, Japanese audio, and similar to like Jujutsu Kaisen for FanFest and Chainsaw Man for Horror Nights. I didn't do it. So, but those were the main attractions. That's the main things they had. Highly recommended to experience Harry Potter, Scooby, Dungeon Dragon, and One Piece, of course. So now let's talk about food real quick. This time around, so they got a lot of food. They did a lot of food this time. And I had intention of trying as much as I possibly can. But again, everything had a line. The restaurant had a line. Like, everywhere had some type of line. And I honestly, I would literally need to do at least maybe 2 days, maybe 3, to prioritize and plan. Like, if I genuinely wanted to create content, because my goal was to create some content for you guys to be able to view. I know I'm podcast first more than anything, but I'm trying to put those little things out so you guys can follow on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I have my own website, sigmaduocast.com. Like, I want to put that stuff on there, but there's just not enough time to really take the time, get the stuff you need, and appreciate everything. So we kind of had to speed everything up. So with food, we had the intention of trying everything. But I'll give you guys my pro tip on what I did do. So this time around, I did buy the dining pass. I bought 2. Sorry, my cat's making noises over here. I bought 2 of the dining passes. They were essentially, they're $59, but then with tax it's $64.75. What you get is you get 2 entrees and then 4 sides, snacks, desserts, or drinks. So a total of 6 items. Again, for $64.75. So what we got to try was Chopper's cupcake, Luffy's straw hat, like gelatin thing, the Nico Robin iced tea, the meat from One Piece, meat on the bone, seafood fried rice, Loco Moco burger, the One Piece funnel cake, the Shaggy sandwich, the Sailor Moon bento box or bento thing they did, the tuxedo mask cookie from Sailor Moon. We did one of Yoshi's smoothies, and then we did a mystery Sailor Moon box mystery cupcakes. So what I'm going to do is I was debating if I should break down what these foods were or go more in depth with, I have the prices kind of ready for you guys. So let me do this. I'm going to give you guys like a quick description of what the food was. I'm going to give you guys my little like rating on it or whatnot. And then at the end of it, I'll break down like the price to kind of show you, is the dining pass worth it? And what my honest opinion is with that. So I'm going to start with the big food. We did Luffy's meat on a bone. And I know that doesn't sound right. So what that was, it was sweet chili ginger garlic pork served on a kimchi fried rice. My wife mainly ate this. She said the fried rice was phenomenal, really good. The pork was a little dry. Could use some type of sauce. So she had that. The other thing she had was Sanji's seafood fried rice. Spicy seafood fried rice with shrimp, scallops, and crab. If you love seafood, you're going to love this dish. It's very, very fishy seafood. She liked it. I didn't eat that one. She liked it. I had Frankie's Loco Moco burger. It's an all beef burger with Spam, onion rings, fried egg, and miso cola gravy served with star-shaped tots. Okay. One, I had to take off the onion rings. I don't like onion rings. It was all right. One thing about Universal is a lot of their food, I haven't really found food except for La Cocina, which is Mexican food, which, I mean, dude, you can't do beans and rice and like asada tacos. Like, you got to be, I don't know. You got to be a psychopath to like mess that up. So that's always my go-to food when I go to Universal. I just go there, have a nice little Mexican dish. That's it. You know, it's not like mom makes it, but ¿sabes qué? Todavía está bien. It's good. All right. Other than that, I don't really eat anything else except for churros. But these dishes, these three dishes that we had, let me first say this, and I'm going to say it, you hear me say it throughout. Every single dish that Universal offers, even to most desserts, it's shareable. And what I mean by that is if you're going with a friend or your significant other or someone, understand that when you buy any one of these, it's good for two people, because I always feel it's not that you don't get a lot of food. You do, but it also, I feel like it's just like you could only have so much of it. I don't know if it's the taste. I don't know what it is. Like some of it times is good, but you just like, I'm not going to clean plate this. I can't. So especially with their like treats, their dessert, some of their drinks, it's just very sugary. It's very, just, I don't know. It's weird. If you're listening, you might know what I'm talking about, but I don't know. It's not like, and this is where I will give Disney a little leg up, because some of their food, like I can buy a couple meals in Disney and I'll kill it myself. I don't need nobody's help. And it tastes good. Universal, I think they still just got to figure it out. And so these dishes, presentation, phenomenal. Picture worthy, like that when if you look online, if you go to Universal Studios, like Google Universal Studios Hollywood FanFest 2026, food, you'll find one of the things and you can actually look at all the menus. You can see the pictures. What you see in the pictures is pretty damn near close to what you get. It's not like McDonald's where they advertise the, big old Big Mac on TV, looks delicious. And you're like, damn, I want a Big Mac. And then you go to McDonald's and what you get is like, it's nothing like the photo. what you see in these photos matches pretty good. And always do note, you cannot customize any of this stuff. So if you don't like certain things, like, oh, I don't want that on it. They produce this food in mass production. You know, they'll be like, all right, I'm going to create, for example, Sanji's seafood fried rice. They're going to make it the same over and over and over and over, put it out so it's ready. You order it and it's ready to grab. You know, they try to expedite it. When you sit there and say, oh, I don't want this on it, they don't do that. Nobody does that. Dodger games, baseball game, like big events, they don't do it. It's just not going to happen. So these main dishes, $18.99 for Frankie's Loco Moco Burger and Luffy's Meat on the Bone, and then $22.99 for Sanji. I'll give you the total towards the end. The other thing we had there was the Pirate Bounty Funnel Cake. That's what I got, $13.99. Again, it was massive, but it was very hard. The whipped cream, was a lot of whipped cream, had these sprinkles on it that were like freaking hard as hell, like harder than nerds. It was just still good, but it was just hard. And then underneath the whipped cream was a nice thing of ice cream, which was a good addition. On top, you do get a little wanted poster. It's an edible wanted poster, kind of like it reminded me of like I don't know if you guys ever had that candy, the oh my god, it's, you get that little chalk stick, and then you have like two flavors of powder, like blueberry, cherry, and you lick the stick, and then you dip it in the powder, and then you like obviously lick the stick. I know it sounds, shut up both of you guys with immature minds. It was that's kind of like, it was like a very thin of that, and it just had the wanted poster, so it's edible. Again, I didn't finish it. I had a couple bites, and that was about it. My wife had a couple bites, and that's it. But that's cinnamon sugar funnel cake topped with toffee and white chocolate sauce, vanilla ice cream, candy treasure, and a random candy wanted poster. It was good, but again, I didn't finish it. My wife then got the Luffy's straw hat, $10.99. That is a salted caramel-filled mousse dome with vanilla bean sponge and praline ganache. I don't know if I said those last two things right, but that's what it says. She liked it. I didn't try it. So, and then we got Chopper cupcake, vanilla sponge cake filled with crisps and topped with cotton candy buttercream. We actually just had that a little while ago. Brought it home. It was $10.99. It was actually pretty good. Not gonna lie. But again, I only had one bite, and that was enough for me. So, all this food, it's good for 2, maybe 3 people. If you're able to kill these plates, kudos. But no. And then the other thing I had was Nico Robin's tropical iced tea, black iced tea, pineapple juice, coconut water, and honey topped with pineapple wedge, pineapple fraud, and fresh raspberries. That was actually pretty damn good. I killed it really fast, though. I was thirsty. So, yeah. Then we had the Super Shaggy sandwich. It was a giant sandwich with ham, turkey, beef, a selection of cheeses, tomato, lettuce, and guess what? Some ruffled potato chips. Delicious. And then we had Sailor Moon, the Sailor Moon bento. You got spicy tuna, onigiri, potato salad, pickled cucumbers, and an octopus-shaped sausage. It was just a freaking hot dog, and they made it look like a octopus. It was crazy. It was not bad. It's all right. What I did love, though, before I say the thing that I really loved, and then we got a mystery cupcake or mystery box cupcake. Basically, what do you call it? You basically order it. It's the cupcake, and each cupcake was steamed. You didn't know what it was, but it was steamed as one of the other sailors. So you had Sailor Moon, you have you have Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Venus, and I think those are the main ones. I think they did the rest of the planets, like Neptune, Pluto, Saturn. But I think it was only the initial ones, the first ones I said, like yellow, red, blue, green, and then Sailor Moon's thing. So you open it up, and then basically it's the cupcake. It's dressed, makes it look like it has the skirt and everything. Then it has their little, like a little cookie, or not cookie, but like a little candy thing on top. and I guess it's like their emblem for each one. That's a vanilla bean cake studded with strawberries, filled with strawberry jam, and topped with vanilla bean buttercream. That was actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. But my favorite thing that I had there was from Sailor Moon, the Tuxedo Mask Raspberry Rose Sandwich Cookie. It's a black chocolate sandwich cookie with rose, raspberry, almond filling, topped with white mask cookie and candy pendant. That was actually pretty bomb. But again, I could not finish all of that stuff. And then the final thing we had was the Yoshi Mango Banana Smoothie. I wanted the apple lemon smoothie, and Salina wanted the blueberry ube, but they were out of both of those, and all we had was the mango. And we tried that, and it was good, but it was super sweet. Like, I just took 2 sips, and I was done, and then she took like maybe 3 or 4, and she was done. Again, I don't know what it is with Universal's foods, but anyways, so here's the breakdown. So again, the passes were $64.75, 2 entrees, and then your choice of 4 either sides, snacks, desserts, or drinks. So for Salina, the things that she used her entire thing, all 4 and 2. If you broke it down before tax, $85.94 is how much that would have been. So she essentially saved about 21 bucks. So again, for her on that, worth it. For me, I had a unique situation because the whole time is like, I know you get these little lanyard passes. And so I had bought mine online, and I had a code. And I know it said, like, you have to go scan it and redeem it. It's like a ticket. You redeem it, and then you get one of the passes. And on the pass, it has its own little scanner thing on there. So before anything, I kept going everywhere, especially to, like, the box office, the main place for service. And I was like, hey, I have this pass. Aren't I supposed to get this? Nobody could answer anything. They're like, no, you just scan it. You'll be able to take your phone, just scan it, and it works. It works. They kept telling me that. And I just knew in my gut, no, dude, I know I need the lanyard thing. Like, I know it, but they kept telling me I was wrong. They were right. All right, sure. I'm always right, but whatever. So anyways, the first time I finally was going to use it, we were down in the back lot, Scooby's area, and I want to get the Scooby sandwich. They're scanning it, and they're running into an issue. Just kept having an issue. They tried different POSs, the whole 9 yards, to the point where they're like asking me, hey, did you use it? I'm like, no, dude, you're the first place I'm using it, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, they ended up giving me the sandwich. They just gave it to me, $20 sandwich, because it wasn't working. So when we came back and we eventually went to the One Piece, after we watched the show, we went to the One Piece restaurant, did the same thing, scanning it, and the lady at the cashier was like, it's not working. It was giving me the same issue that I was having down at the lower lot or in the back lot. And then here came a manager or supervisor or something, and she's like, no, what you got to do is you got to scan them out the pass. And they had like a bunch kind of right there. And she's like, yeah, so what you do is you scan you do the pass, then you scan that, and it's going to offset it. It'll zero out, and then you can ring them up for what they need, which in my head was like, that's what I've been trying to tell everybody. So if you get the dining pass, go to that restaurant. It's the One Piece one, or I know there's like another one, I think like the casino one, Cocina, and just tell them you need to redeem your thing for the pass, because none of them knew what the hell was going on except the actual restaurant people. I mean, I guess I should have just went to them to begin with. So I don't know. So anyways, get that from them and you're good. So for me, I actually ended up not redeeming one of my snack things. So I used the 2 entrees and I used 3 of the 4. That came out to be a $71.95 cost. So in this case, like less than $10. But if you factor in that free Scooby that I got because the pass wasn't working, that's about a $91.94 total. So I saved quite a bit of money. So long story short, overall, the food pass is great. It is a great purchase for $65. But again, most food is hard to finish by your lonesome. So you may only just need one pass, and just do know you guys, whoever you're with, you just have to agree on what you guys both want to eat. Get the one item and then just share it. I promise you, it's plenty. It is plenty of food. You're half the stuff that you get there, you're not gonna fit. Those cupcakes is you. There's so much sugar, dude. Like anyone that can finish one of those cupcakes by themselves. Let me tell you something. Make sure you drink a lot of water and go do some cardio or something. I don't know. It's a lot of sugar, man. I'm just saying. Like anyone who can kill it, one of those cupcakes, whether it's the Sailor Moon or even the cookie that I really enjoyed of the Sailor Moon or the what do you call it? The chopper one. God dang, man. You something else, I'll tell you that much, if you can kill one of those by yourself, because it's just so much sugar. It's too much. It's too much, man. So anyways, it's worth it. I highly recommend it. If you guys go get the 9 pass, try it. It's good. I'll spend a little time with the merch. This year's merch was a little better than last year. They had a lot of One Piece. They freaking got me. It got me, man. So One Piece had a blind box collectible pins. They were $16 a box. Each box came with 2. There was a total of, let me see, 6, with 1 being a chaser. And I tried to chase. I did the chase. And I failed. I didn't get the chase, man. Pissed. I low-key want to go back just so I can get another damn box. I'll probably end up just buying it on eBay or something, but the chase was it's Luffy's Jolly Roger, I think is what it's called. The skull and crossbones. It's his, because they have one for every member. So Chopper, Nami, Usopp, Zoro, and Sanji. So you have all them, you'll get like them no problem. But to get Luffy's, that's the chase. And I did. I must have bought like 6 or 7 boxes. I have Gold Pass, so I got a discount. Didn't really break the bank, but I still wanted that damn thing. Other than that, they had good merch. It was not bad. I think it was better than last year. A couple cool Scooby-Doo stuff. They had actually quite a bit of Sailor Moon. I was a bit surprised. Monsters, some Jurassic Park stuff. Obviously, FanFest themed stuff. Actually, they didn't have a lot of that, surprisingly. Like, just as Universal Studios FanFest, they had some, but not like a lot. They really, it looked like they focused more on the IPs, which is great. That's as they should. The only thing I will say that I will have a negative thing to say about Universal, and if anyone by chance from Universal happens to listen to this entire episode in their marketing, social media department, whatever, y'all need to stop releasing this stuff before FanFest. You did it last year, and you guys sold out of a lot of things. A lot of people missed out on merch. You guys do this all the time with any special event. You always release the merch early before the event starts to the general public. This year, I believe it was almost a week early. People were posting, you can just go and get what you want to get. Stop, man. Like, buying merch is one of those things that feels exclusive for the event. You do it for Horror Nights. You did it for this now. Like, come on. So if you guys see something that you're really excited about, like, I really want that piece, I really want that item or whatever, whether it's Horror Nights or FanFest now, like, even if you go on day one of the event, there might be a chance where they're not going to have it. They'll be sold out. Now, thankfully, as far as I can tell, they had everything. There was a couple items that one of the shop guys was telling me they don't have, which I actually kind of wanted, but I didn't find it because they were out of it. It is what it is. But, dude, Universal, you guys got to work better. Maybe after the first weekend, leave the merch out and then general people can buy it. But to flood it a week before the event, that's sanity. Hey, you guys might be making good money. Great for you, but I don't know. I still don't agree with that part of it. So, anyways. So, I now want to give you, before I wrap it up, I'm going to give you guys my final segment, some strategies, some tips to do. If you can, prioritize, plan your visit. Go online, check out what's up, download the Universal Studios app. You can kind of look at the map, figure out what it is you want to do. Try to get as much info as you can. If you have questions about FanFest, you guys can reach me out on my socials, Insta, YouTube, TikTok, or even just sigmaduocast.com. I have a little part where you guys can send messages on there too. Hit me up. I can give you my best tips if you're interested, or just do your own research online, YouTube, everyone. But prioritize, plan your visit, so you can, if you're only going one day, you can make the most of that one day so you can hit everything you want to hit. This year is a lot busier than last year. That's for sure. Almost gives me Horror Night vibes on the busyness side of things. Not there yet. Not there yet, but definitely better than last year. So that just tells me that FanFest was a big hit last year, as it was. And now this one's another big hit too. So I can't wait we know we're going to get another one next year. So I hope this is a continuance thing and it just continues to grow and expand. But prioritize, plan it out. With that, planning out is going to be Scooby-Doo in one piece. Plan your Scooby-Doo. Do it as soon as you can, the earliest, so you can knock it out. Know what you want to do down there. Again, I kind of gave you a quick rundown with no spoilers. And so hopefully you can find things like that if you're not listening to me. And then that way you can plan that out, because you will spend at least you can 2 hours easy, maybe even more. And again, the One Piece, they only did 3 shows a night. So you want to prioritize around those shows, how early you want to get there, because you want to get good seats to have good viewing, et cetera, et cetera. The lines, they build fast. I'm telling you, at one point, the longest line was Harry Potter. And that sucker was like, I want to say as high as 90 minutes. So maybe even more. But again, just plan it. And not just lines for attractions, but for the food. This was the first time that I have seen insanity lines for food. I've been to Disney. I've been everywhere. And well, not everywhere, but the parks here in California. And for many different events, I've never seen lines like this for food. The closest thing was the weekends, Horror Nights, like after party bar thing. That was probably the longest. And that line wasn't even that long, but it was long, if that makes sense. So if you plan it right and you do everything, and you're fast, you will be able to do everything. The level of enjoyment depends on how fast and what time you got. I don't think Express Pass is necessary just yet. Not like Horror Nights level. But if you can afford the Express Pass, I would say get it to kind of expedite some of the experiences for you, and be able to knock everything out in a night comfortably and more enjoyable. So that one you got to decide on yourself if you want to do Express Pass. But yeah, just plan it out. And my biggest tip, the first thing you do when you enter the park, get a locker. The moment you walk in, immediately going to go to your right after you pass like the little photo booth, like station right next to that. There's going to be lockers. Get yourself the biggest locker. It's like, I think $15 for the entire day or something like that. Do that. So that way, if you buy stuff, you drop it. Like as soon as we bought cups, merch, threw it in there. I actually took my wife brought an extra pair, like a flannel. I took an extra pair. I was wearing shorts and I took a pair of like pants because they got cold at night. Well, that's another thing. Make sure it'll be hot during the day. It was hot, 75, 78 degree weather. But then when nighttime came around, it got chilly real quick. So you might want to bring extra, but get a locker, put your stuff in there. When we got some of the cupcakes and stuff, we just put them in the locker. Boom, boom. We don't want to be carrying things. You want to go as hands-free, as loose as you possibly can. So always get a locker. You can get 2 if you want, but definitely highly recommend that. So overall, final verdict, year 2 to year 1, it's bigger, better production, more crowd. Year 2 was a significant improvement from last year's. Definitely People did not know a lot about it last year, so it didn't seem as busy. The crowds were not as chaotic. Some attractions were total duds. Some were phenomenal. This time around, almost every attraction I would say was phenomenal. I still think they need to figure something out with this Nintendo Land. I love the Yoshi concept. I think it's great. It's cute. It's fantastic. I love Yoshi. But I don't know. They got to figure something out. Because I honestly didn't have any desire to go down there. I mean, I wanted to go see the Yoshis and take pictures with them, but I was like, not a necessity. That's the DreamWorks Theater. They got to make it. I'm telling you. Like, I love the original content with Jujutsu Kaisen for last year's FanFest, this Horror Fest with Chainsaw Man last year, and now Sailor Moon. I get it. They're animes, they're Japanese. I love it. And you guys know me. I love Japan. There's so much stuff there, but you got to bring these dubbed, because FanFest, you're going to hit the fans, the people that obviously know the properties and they know what to expect. But if you want to expand on other audiences, you got to give them dubbed, because things are happening way too fast in the animation where you got to go read up. Like, it's just too much. It's too much. I said that with Jiu-Jitsu and I said it with Chainsaw Man. Like, unless you speak fluent Japanese, which I'm working on that myself, like, well, not fluent, at least just something. You gotta, I don't know, just make it, just dub it up. I don't think it's hard to dub it up. So, yeah, other than that, it was great. I look forward to next year. I don't know what to expect. I know on episode 113, Laura and I were kind of predicting what would be cool, what can they do. All our predictions that we came up with, not even close, as far as I know. Some we didn't even think about, but obviously we probably will have Dungeons & Dragons again. Like I said, do a new story, update it, just update it. It's great. You don't have to do anything too crazy. Just update it. Obviously you're going to have something backlot. Keep that up. The backlot experience is great. It's a time guzzler. But keep the backlot experiences going. I honestly don't know what they can do next. The Harry Potter was definitely a massive improvement. That was phenomenal. That was great. I don't know if they can do anything different next year or expand on it, but that was good. One Piece, I don't know. I kind of feel like One Piece is going to be a continuous thing that they'll always have. As much as I think that'd be cool. Now try something new. One Piece working with the Water World show, it makes the most sense. I don't really know if there's another anime that can take advantage of that. Maybe Avatar, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. So the probability of One Piece being there again with the water show, most likely. But I hope they bring more anime IPs at that capacity where it's an immersive experience. That Jurassic experience thing was cool, but there's a lot of land there. There's a lot that they could do some interesting things down there. So we'll see what the future brings with that. And then just the theater is keep doing the anime shorts. I love it. Keep doing those movies, the little 15, 20 minute animes. Just make them dub, man. Make them dub. I think it's going to be phenomenal for the fans, the people who are there who don't know anything about whatever the IP is. People who don't know Jiu-Jitsu, people who don't know Chainsaw, people who don't know Sailor Moon. They can go in there and enjoy it. Otherwise, they're going to be like, I don't know what happened. It was just pretty lights, pretty colors. It was cool. Yeah, I guess. Just do that. And then the meetups. Keep doing the meetups. Meetups were fantastic. I think that's really brings to life the sections. And then figure out, just continue with the food. They did a big upgrade with a lot of different food. There's a lot of food I did not try. Like Harry Potter had a whole menu. There was a lot. I didn't get to dive into, but keep that up too. But yeah, FanFest is absolutely worth it. I highly recommend it. I think it's a cool, fun experience that you get to do late at night. You guys know me. I love nighttime theme park ambience. If I can experience Universal and Disney late night in the dark with the lights and love it. But yeah, I will say at the end of this show, there was a couple pauses, a couple weird little things. I was recording, and obviously it was my first time to put this video on YouTube. That is not going to happen because throughout something happened and I experienced some technical difficulties. So unfortunately there will be no video to it, which is fine because I got, I think, enough content where I can experiment, because I want to bring that content to you guys soon. So if you're listening, thank you so much. This is how you support. But yeah, unfortunately, you won't be seeing any video on that. But we'll see what happens. But please go to TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, follow, subscribe, whatever those things are. Watch the videos, like the videos, comments. All that stuff supports me. I'm trying to expand Sigma to a whole nother thing. I also, on the website at www.com or www.sigmaduocast.com, you guys can check all the things on there. I even have a little link where if you want to support the cast for future things, you guys can go in there and drop a little tip. It's always most appreciated. But I am trying to expand. I'm going to bring more content. We're going to have a lot of things happening this year. I haven't shared what they are just yet, but stay tuned. Other than that, man, if you guys made it this far, thank you. Go check out Universal Studios FanFest. If you can, it's a great experience. And till next time.